guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I am building my first ever build in Forgotten Hollow, and I have to say I really love this little world. So the world is very small, only 5 lots like you all know. But I just love the feeling. It feels very dark and gloomy, and definitely a place in my mind where you would find vampires. So I wanted to build something as my first build to really fit in with the entire theme of the world. So I was thinking, let's do a very traditional, old looking Victorian house, and this is like something that I think a vampire would live in. Of course, everyone has their own interpretation, but this is something that I thought that a vampire would definitely like. So I'm talking old school vampire. Of course, you have like modern vampires who live in maybe more modern mansions, which I'm definitely going to do as well. I loved the idea of building a modern house for a vampire, so that's something that I'm going to play around with the upcoming days as well. But for today, we are building this beautiful traditional looking not Tudor, oh my gosh, Victorian looking mansion. So what I did delete Flat's house, by the way. So this is on the largest lot in the world. I think it's a 30 by 40, and to be fair, I could have used a little bit more space. I wish this was like a 50 by 50 so that I could do a full-on mansion. So this is like a tiny mini mansion for me, but still it's cute and nice, and yeah, I really like how it looked. So I did have some roofing problems, and that's because I'm using these weird angles. And yeah, I did cut out a whole piece of me just roofing because I redid the roof I think 4 or 5 times until I found that it looked nice, and that's just because I used weird shapes, but I definitely wanted some weird shapes in the house to make it look a little bit more interesting. So this is going to be a 2-part build, by the way. So today we are doing the entire exterior, a little bit landscaping. There isn't really much room for landscaping, but I do try and make it look very dead. That's like the overall theme. For the garden, I really wanted a very dead looking vibe, something that really fits with the old school vampires. So this vampire that lives here definitely doesn't do anything with his garden. He has like more important things on his mind, and I do think he likes a very dead garden. So this fits his personality quite well. So I am going to move in a vampire family here because, oh my gosh, vampire toddler. I cannot wait to create a vampire toddler. That will be so cute. And of course there's going to be like, I think 1 teen, a child, mommy and daddy, and maybe a butler. I'm not sure if I'm going to implement a butler, although I do like the idea of a vampire having its own, I don't know, butler, but maybe not a human butler. It could be like a what could we use? A goblin or something. And we don't have goblins in the games, but we can pretend that it's a goblin or something like that. So that is a little bit fun to do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to furnishing the house. So this video is a kinda a short video because for the overall build, I think I've built this in like an hour and a half. It really was very fun to do, and I don't know, the shape really came together quite nicely and fast, which I'm very happy with. So I think I worked an hour and a half on this, so this is a very short video. The furnishing, however, is going to be a very long video, and I am going to work on the furnishing the upcoming days. Hopefully, oh my gosh, hopefully I will finish that tomorrow. If not, it will be the day after. But yeah, I'm so excited to see how this house is going to look on the inside. I think the floor plan is going to be really weird. So yeah, here I have some trouble with the window placement there, so you won't see me placing windows here. In the end, when I'm going to take screenshots, I'm like, it needs windows, so I do put in some very small windows, and they are going to be hidden behind some ivy, so you don't really see them, because I didn't like how the windows looked when I placed them just now. I couldn't space them evenly, and you guys know how I am with spacing things evenly. It's a little thick. Everything needs to be even and correct. Although this entire house is not even at all. It has like so many different angles. But it makes sense, and then it's okay for me. So yeah, here making the roof a little bit more interesting using those thingies from Get Together. I'm not sure how those things are called, but they make the roof a little bit more interesting and, I don't know, a bit scarier and creepier. So yeah, really happy with that. And of course the gargoyles. Are they called gargoyles? Oh my gosh. Anyways, the werewolves on the towers, they look absolutely gorgeous. They make this house look complete. I wished we had this back at Halloween, because when it was Halloween, I've built this haunted mansion, which was gorgeous, but it was definitely missing some gargoyles and some dead ivy. I'm just using normal ivy from Get Together, but some dead ivy would have been much better. So I think I'm going to redo that build just for me and make it look a little bit more creepy. And so yeah, here playing around with the ivy, and here I'm debating, should I add in some more, I don't know, how are those things called? Eaves? Are those called? Oh my gosh, I need to look it up because I'm terrible in names. Trims, that's it. So yeah, I was debating, should I use trims? Should I delete the trims? So I do use trims in the end, but I don't use trims around the towers. I think that looked a little bit too over cluttered, so only trims on the main building. So yeah, that's basically it for this little section here. Again, I'm going to enclose this entire tower with ivy just because I like the look. And you guys know I always use ivy in every traditional build that I do because I really love how that looks. It makes a building look a little bit more alive, and with the dead ivy it looks a little bit more dead and old, which I really like. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to do a little bit more green on the bottom, and when the ivy goes more and more to the top, it all is a little bit more dead, and it's like dying. It's not really dead yet, but the ivy is definitely dying, and by the end of I think this is like in fall time. It looks like a fall time world. Either way, in the end of fall it will be all dead, and yeah, I really like it. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below the video, do you guys already own the vampire game pack? Have you played it, or are you maybe waiting and saving up for a pack? So I'm definitely happy with this pack. This is my favorite one, and that's because I'm a very large vampire, just a very large vampire fan in general. I have all these Tookie Stackhouse books, all the Vampire Diary books, all the Twilight books. I watched like every movie which is associated with vampires, every series. I've watched them like a million times, and my favorite vampire movie is definitely Interview with a Vampire. I love that movie. It's so very, I don't know, it makes me cry, it makes me laugh, and it shocks me, and I really like that feeling when I'm watching vampire movies. So that's like my favorite movie. But when we will be looking at series, I like the originals. That's like my favorite vampire series. After Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that was like my favorite series in the 90s. But now with the new graphics and special effects, I really love the originals. I also like Vampire Diaries, but I have to be fair, I like the books better. I don't know, the series was a little bit meh for me at the end. The books were much more entertaining for me. So yeah, here placing grass. Of course we needed some grass surrounding the building just to make it look a little bit more overgrown. Like I said, this vampire really does not give a you know what about his garden. He likes it dead and overgrown, and the mother of the house feels the same about it. This is like how they grew up. They don't know any other way how a garden needs to be. So yeah, here terrain painting. I'm trying to make it look dry, old, and I don't know, so I'm using oh my gosh, so sorry, I'm using some terrain paint stones in between the dirt just to make the floor look a little bit more drier. So we are almost finished with this build. I think I'm going to add in some gravestones. I do that at the very end. I was like, we're missing something, and I put in the new tombstones. Some lights, of course, definitely some lights. I mean, this is a creepy old house, but it needs a little bit of illumination to give that more of a special effect at night. So I do try and hide all of the lights surrounding the house, and I do put some lights on the house itself to illuminate the walls a little bit. So yeah, we are almost finished with this little video of mine. I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. Keep an eye out for part 2 that will be coming tomorrow or the day after, and then you guys can download the house. So it's not on the gallery yet, but it will be very soon. So I hope that you guys have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you hopefully in part 2. Bye bye.